Welcome to Sharpen Your Marketplace Edge here in Fort Collins, Colorado. Excited that you took time in your evening if you're in South Africa, in your midday if you're here in Colorado, or on the West Coast a little bit earlier. Well, I will never forget sitting there in Nelspruit, South Africa, where our company really was about to explode. And James Rice, our international managing partner, and I were sitting across from two amazing ladies, Zelda and Yanita. And they were responsible for the business side of the KLCBT, which was the chamber there in the Lowveld. And they didn't know me and we didn't know them. And I said to these wonderful ladies, I said, listen, will you give us the opportunity? Let us have one breakfast. And if you are not completely convinced that our style, our motivational speaking, our content is something that you believe is the best for the chamber, we'll never ask to do anything with you ever again. And they gave me a chance. They gave us a chance. And so they said, yes, we'll give you one breakfast. And I remember driving away with James and he says, well, what are we going to do now? And I said, we're going to fill it up. And he goes, well, how? I said, I have no idea, but we're going to do it. And so we started talking. And if you knew James pre-2012, you would know that he is an amazing auditor. He's very detail oriented. We've joked many times about his personality. Is very straightforward and very calculated, great friend. And but not the type of person that you would typically put in charge of a marketing effort. If you know anything about DISC, he is a high SC. So if you're an introvert, the one thing that you love doing is cold calling. I mean, this is something that when you wake up in the morning, you're like, let me call somebody I've never met before and try to sell them all my products and services. So what I said to James is, I said, James, it's time for you to come out of your shell. We're going to develop an amazing script, and then I want you to call 1,000 companies. And he said to me, David, I'm used to sitting in a cubicle, in an office there in Durban, managing a 10 firm of accountants and bookkeepers, Indians there in Durban, South Africa. And I said, it's okay. I'm going to train you how to talk to people on the phone that you get a response. So we developed this amazing script. I remember I got him a little yellow mirror and I told him, you have to smile while you talk into the phone, and you have to smile so that people think that you like them. Because if you frown and if you're really intense, they won't say yes to you because they think that you don't like them. So James called over 1,000 companies in the matter of just about 6 weeks. And what happened was, although he kind of broke out into some boils and things, and the stress rate went through the roof, he got over 100 people to pay for our first business breakfast with the partnership with the KLCBT. Now the problem is the room only fit 99 people, and we had 160 sign up. So the chamber contacts us and says, oh my gosh, what are you guys doing? We've got too many for the breakfast. And I said, well, why don't we have a lunch? And they said, we've never done a lunch before. And I said, well, let's do a lunch. So we handed out flyers. We did all these things. And you know what we were told over and over and over? Cold calling doesn't work. Scripts don't work. People don't want to be bothered today. So what we found was people said that this doesn't work and this doesn't work and this doesn't work and this doesn't work. And because we didn't listen to what they said, we said, we're going to make it work. We're going to do it our way. We're going to be creative with this, and we're going to find a way how to sharpen our marketplace edge where other people are going to be flabbergasted by our results. And that first breakfast that we had 100 people, and that first lunch that we had 60 people, we made so many wonderful new friends. We got so many clients. It was fantastic. When I look back on that and I see that was the beginning days of the Global Equipping Center there in Nelspruit, South Africa, I still have family and friends that are clients. That's how we've built our relationships with people. And we still have people today we met way back then that still email us and Facebook us and say, how are you doing? How are things going? Here's my question to you. What are you doing in the midst of the coronavirus globally to sharpen your marketplace edge? If some of you are saying, I've got 3 sets of pajamas. I have my breakfast pajamas that I woke up in, and then I switched to my lunch pajamas, and I switched to my, my pajamas for the evening. You're probably not at your sharpest right now. And some people aren't at their sharpest. They're like, you know what? Maybe I got laid off of work, or maybe I can't find enough things to do, and I'm kind of just doing a lot of Facebook. I'm doing a lot of videos, but I'm not making an impact like I could be making. So this webinar today is really to help people who want to grow their company in the midst of an economic downturn, because that's what it is. So we're going to talk to you about some unique ways how you can grow your company regardless of what the globe is doing, regardless of what your country is doing, regardless of what your company has said, regardless of whether or not you're in your kitchen right now after dinner, or maybe you just woke up with some coffee. So we're going to be sharing this. We're recording this live. So we're going to be sending this out to our database as well about sharpening your marketplace edge. So for those of you that are new to the Global Equipping Center, we provide training and coaching for fundraising. We provide motivational speaking. We have some entrepreneurial courses. And today we've got 4 different areas that we want to talk to you about, some introductory thoughts. Next, how your company can improve your customer service model to be the most unique globally. So it's no longer for your country. This is now global. We're finding companies all over the world that are saying, you know what, I can no longer depend upon my sphere of influence in my town or in my city or in my country. I'm literally looking to get global clients. So if that's you, then we're going to talk to how to become unique in your industry. Exclusive communication techniques to ensure signed contracts that are paid. We'll talk about that, and forging lifelong customers. Okay, so here is the question that we're getting sometimes on a daily basis from different business individuals. Is now the right time to expand my business? It's funny when you do inflection on different words with this one sentence. Is now the right time to expand my business? Is now the right time to expand my business? Is now the right time to expand my business? No matter which way you look at this, we're having people that are asking the same questions all over the world. Akansha, I talked to on a Zoom meeting just a couple days ago. She's from Global. She's from India. And she asked this very same question. David, is now the right time for us to expand our company? We're a recruiting company. We're in all these different countries. 60% of our clients are no longer growing. Is now the right time to expand my business? Gail asked just about 4 weeks ago here in Fort Collins, Colorado, David, are you sure now's the right time to expand my business? And lastly, Francois, talked to him a couple weeks ago, great friend in Nelspruit, said, are you sure this is the right time? So we're going to ask that question throughout that. Now let's take a look at some statistics, because we get the majority of our clients from South Africa and the US. So here's something that just popped into my email this morning, which is amazing. And this is an emergence growth newsletter. They send it out maybe once or twice a year. It's from Johannesburg. And I want you to look at the Wellness and Employee Assistance Program right there. People are paying more for their employees, for their followers. They're assisting them with their learning, with their coaching, with their mentoring opportunities now more than ever. So people that are saying, you know what, I want to grow. I want to grow personally. I want to grow professionally. This is actually the best time to do that. In fact, the last 4 weeks, every single week, we've been getting a new client from South Africa and from the US over and over and over again. You know why? People have reached the tipping point in the level of frustration that they have on sitting on their couch. They're like, you know what? I'm tired. I can't go out to eat. I'm quarantined. I got to stay here. I'm wearing masks. You know, I've had it. I'm ready to do something new. So if that's you, this is actually the best time in the globe. It's just exploding with the number of people that are wanting coaching, that are wanting to grow themselves. They're reading more books. They're watching more training videos. They're getting coached more. We just had a person today say, I'm paying, I would like to pay for an entire year's coaching up front. I'm ready to do this. I'm not going to wait to see what's going to happen. I'm going to take my life by the horns and I'm going to make it happen. So here's my question. Are you ready to go to the next level, or are you waiting to see what happens? So we're going to talk about a couple things. Now, in the US, it's hitting really hard with unemployment. In fact, in the last 8 weeks, 36.5 million people have lost their jobs in America. Now, if you believe that we have around 350 million people, that's 10% of the population has lost its jobs. And what that's doing is it's creating a void. And this is what I talked to Akansha about. I said, you know, there are two or three different types of businesses right now. One type of business says, you know what, we're going to wait and hope things are better in 4 to 8 weeks. One is, well, we're going to do a little bit of work. We're going to more save our money. We're going to not expend too much money. And another is looking at the marketplace, saying, look at all the void, this huge vacuum that's being created by all of these people that are losing their jobs. I wonder what we can do with our company. So in some ways, it's a disaster for the people around the world that have lost their jobs. But in another way, you have all of these opportunities that we've never had in our lifetime to make a difference in the world. You know, right now, it's 12:12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time in Fort Collins. Right now, we have people, we have Mariette, we have Francois, we have Andrew Hall, we have people that we met almost a decade ago that we're talking to today. And we're making an impact in their family, in their life, in their children's life. They're going to get off this webinar and say, you know what, I feel better about where I'm at with my company. And we're making an impact. So right now, you can make a bigger impact in people around the world because they're looking for leadership. They're looking for products. They're looking for services. And you have the opportunity to make a difference. And I hope that you know that you can. This third introductory slide is to really make up your mind. And I'm hoping that you hear my heart throughout this webinar. You know, as a dominant, influential person, I really like a provocative conflict. I like creating conflict that produces results. And you know, I've been slowly and surely you know, being trained and understanding that you need to share your heart before you come and change the whole construct of people's mindsets of business. So I would like to ask you once and for all, right this moment, right here on May 14th, 2020, to make up your mind, to make your mind up and decide to choose right now that you are going to do something. That regardless of what you made last month, or regardless of what the economy is doing in your country or in your town, regardless of what the world's doing, that you are going to grow your personal income, that you're going to grow your company, regardless of what anybody else says or does. That decision in itself has a ripple effect in the marketplace about who you are and what you will do. So my encouragement to you before we go further is to, in your heart, in your soul, to say, you know what? I'm not going to allow anything or anyone to stand in my way. I'm going to grow my business no matter what. Because otherwise, it kind of feels like this. Here are some thoughts and emotions that seem wise during a global economic downturn, but actually reveals a lack of confidence. So here's what it is. Fear. We're hearing people all the time. In fact, when you go to the grocery store, sometimes even behind the mask, you can see the fear in people's eyes. They're afraid. There's fear, there's anxiety, there's concern, there's waiting. People saying, I'm just being patient to see what happens. There's a carefulness, and all these things reveal something in that person. There's a lack of confidence in themselves to persevere and to cause their business to grow. They may have a lack of belief in their company and the competency of their team, or maybe in their products and services to weather the storm. Or maybe they say this, you know what? I've lost customer after customer because of this crazy life that we're living, and I'm not sure if they're reliable anymore. If you have a lack of confidence in any of those areas, what happens is that you pull back, and there's fear and there's anxiety, there's concern. I wonder if all this is going to blow over in the next couple months. I wonder how long it's going to take. Well, I should just be patient. And what that does is that creates passivity in yourself instead of saying, what is a brand new product or service I need to create right now to get new clients? What can I do to follow up on new opportunities? Our two companies that we have right now, I have over 22 emails that I need to get back to, and there's person after person that wants to become a client. There's person after person that says, you know, guys, can we please do a virtual event? Hey, I've got people that want your products, that want your services. And there's people that are excited because they're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And my concern is that they're looking toward the global global light at the end of the tunnel. They're looking at the maybe the light at the end of their city or their province or maybe their state or the government. And my friends, you have to understand something. You create the light at the end of the tunnel. You decide that you are not going to be passive in the season of global passivity, that you're going to be active. And it was only about 4 weeks ago that I said, you know what? I have this feeling that everything in the world is telling everyone else, don't proceed, don't move, wait on everything, wait on this, wait on this. And I said to our team, I said, you know what? We decide that we are going to grow. We are not going to wait on the government or on someone else to tell us it's time to grow. Well, if this happens, no, you decide. It's your company. It's your position. It's your choice. And when you make up your mind, guess what happens? You release the other people that were waiting that could have been clients for you that now will. And we hope that you're one of the people that's going to choose to grow your company now, because now is the best time to grow. Well, let's look at this concept of a unique customer service model. And we're going to talk a little bit about sales, but mostly about when people have a problem with your company, maybe your product or service, because sometimes things don't always go according to plan. One of the people that's very near and dear my heart, you've heard me talk about her many times, is Dillian Mulder. She has been by far the longest standing client in my 20-year history of coaching. And she stayed with our company for 73 months because she saw things that she wanted to really excel in. And she said, I'm not going to stop until I get there. And we made a mutual decision on the 73rd month that, you know what, Dillian, we have taken you to the heights, and you love your life. And now you're ready to go into semi-retirement. And she did. And in fact, on Facebook, I just got an amazing off-the-grid home that she's living in the mountains with a beautiful overlook of this beautiful valley. And she's so happy. In the beginning, about the first 2 months in, she was unhappy. And I didn't know that. And we were sitting down and talking, and she says, well, I don't think this is going to work for me. And I said, what's not going to work for you? She says, I don't know if coaching is going to work for me. I don't feel that you're engaged enough with me. And I said, Dillian, all you have to do is ask, what do you need? And she told me, I need this, this, and this. And I said, from this point on, I will give you this, this, and this. And what happened was right then, our customer service model was wrapped around what a person needs. And she stayed on for 73 months. Many times it's now not how good you are today, it's the mistake you make tomorrow. That your customer service model needs to help solve that problem, that you keep that person long term. So let's take a look at this. Here's some ideas. While branding, marketing, and sales may recruit your potential clients, your customer service model will be the methodology to keep them long term. When someone has a problem with you or with your products, with your services, with your company, if they don't feel like they can share about the problem they had, and that you will, with care and concern, find a way to solve that, you will not be able to keep long-term customers. When someone's upset is the moment that your customer service model needs to kick in. And if you don't have one, you lose client after client and don't know why. I remember that 3 years in a row in South Africa, 2010, 11, and 12, James and I would lose 1, 2, 3, 4 clients in between December 15th and January 15th. Now, if you live outside of the continent of Africa and you don't understand about those 30 days, you won't really understand what we're talking about. But in South Africa, there's a unique model in which by about November 15th, people start to ramp down for the year, and they start to slowly check out, and they start to focus on, well, I'm ramping down because December 15th is coming. And you will get emails and voicemails and WhatsApp messages and text messages from people across the country. It's December 15th. I've gone to the beach. I've gone to the ocean. I'm relaxing. I'll see you on January 15th. and so I wasn't used to that model. I was used to the American model. You take off, December 24th, and then you come back to work on January the 2nd. And I was used to that model. I didn't know of the model where the world seemed to take off in those, those 4 weeks. And so for 3 years in a row, I couldn't figure out. And James said, David, nobody really interacts with our company after the first week of December. And then we try to connect with them, January 15th, they've forgotten all about what we do. And I said, well, James, all we have to do is change our customer service model. And on every single Monday in December and in January, we sent them a little blurb. Sometimes it was a little video of, hi, hope you're having fun on the beach. Hope if you're in Durban, hope you're having some great bunny chow, some great curry. And what we did is we changed our model so that it connected with people. And the year that we did that in December and January, we didn't lose a single client. Our customer service model was broken because it didn't work with the South African model. Question: no matter where you live in the world, when a customer has a problem with you, does your customer service model help them immediately so that you don't lose them? I hope that you've been able to work on that some, because there's a couple secrets. And here's here's the number one secret. It takes 90 days for your client to go cold. So create your customer model accordingly. Now, there are two main industries that fail with this the most. The first one is real estate, and the second one is financial planning. Financial planners and real estate agents don't do very well with this customer service model. I'll tell you why. So you typically don't buy a house every 90 days. And you typically don't need a financial planner every 90 days, unless there's a crisis going on. But what happens is in the mind of a really great real estate agent, a great financial planner, they believe that the last interaction they had is so burned in the mind of their customer that they think that they're going to forever remember about how amazing it was on that one instance. And therefore, you can't connect with somebody on their birthday or one time a year and say, hey, let's have a meeting, and be in the person's mind over and over and over. So what you need to realize is that every 3 months, every quarter, you need to get back in touch with your client and give them a touch point. Give them a call, send them a letter, shoot them an email, find a way to give them a present, do something special for them that it reminds them who you are. Because if you're out of mind, out of sight too long, they'll forget about you. And it just happens. It's natural. And therefore, you need to, when you produce something for them, you evaluate how you did that, you improve that, you repeat that, and you find how to have the touch point 4 times a year per amazing client that you have. so that you don't lose any of them, and so that you keep yourself in their mind. The way I did this for years, over 2 years, every 90 days, I would fly from Chicago over to South Africa. South Africa is what I consider my second home. And for those of you that love and enjoy South African people and the food, you can't stay away from that. So what I would do is I would go to Walmart and I would buy unique presents for every single client that I had, and I would put gift bags in my suitcase. So I would literally come over with a suitcase of my clothes and a suitcase with all of the gifts from my South African clients. And when I would arrive for all of my client meetings, I would bring all of these bags with me filled with little Walmart goodies that you couldn't get in South Africa. And every 90 days, I would hand them a gift bag. And do you know, it was so meaningful for them. I mean, I would bring them sometimes, powdered creamer that was hazelnut that you couldn't get in South Africa, and different foods and different gifts. And they would always be intrigued of what I was going to bring next. You know why? Because I knew that it was something unique in my customer service model that would keep them connected to me. And I would remember I would get all these WhatsApps over the next 90 days when they would try, and they would show me a cup of their rooibos tea or their coffee, and they would have their creamer they put in. They would take a photo of it and they would send it on WhatsApp, say, David, thanks so much for the French vanilla creamer, or or this, or I just ate this, or these little candies we couldn't get here. Can you bring some next time? It was something unique for them. What are you doing right now with all of the time that you may have on your hands at home to do something special for some of the clients that have really continued to pay you through this? Have you sent them something in the mail, or maybe dropped it off with your mask on and you dropped it off at their house? Are you doing anything special to remind people that they mean something to you and your company? This is what a service model will do. So if it can be replicated, your team didn't develop it thoroughly enough. See, there was no other executive coaching company in 50 million people in South Africa that was on a regular 90-day basis giving their clients US Walmart gift bags to their clients. Nobody could duplicate or replicate our model. What makes your model unique? No matter where you live around the world, you can be unique. And I hope that your creativity is really flourishing in the season of rest, that you're coming up with brand new ideas, how to make a difference in the lives of your customers. Well, the second secret is you need to be holistic. It can't just be about facts and figures and numbers. It needs to be something that is holistic. It's something that actually impacts their mental, emotional, physical, and financial reasons why they joined with you in the beginning. I can't tell you how many times I've shaken the hand of a person through Zoom, and say, welcome to the Global Equipping Center's executive coaching program. And the person says something like this, I joined because I wanted to grow my income. I mean, we have a client right now that we helped her in the first quarter of 2020 to grow her company's income by 33%. If she stayed on that trajectory, that means she's going to grow her company by 120% if she continues to implement what we've helped her to start. Here's what it is. You want to help the person's mind, that the thoughts that you give them, they're like, wow, that's really good. Their emotions, they need to know that you care about them. Physically, that you care about their well-being and the well-being of their family and the well-being of their staff. And they need to see that what you're doing is financially benefiting them. One of the truths that I learned in Florida right way back in 2005 is that discounts are the worst thing you can ever do for your business. In fact, we have helped people in the product market never to give discounts whatsoever, because it's directly about your character and integrity that you should not give discounts. And we've trained companies how, regardless of how much money you get from any person at any time or bulk sales, you don't ever do discounts. You find ways how to add value. And when you do that, it's a holistic strategy, because the person doesn't expect these things over here that you add in value that other companies don't do. So I hope that you have been thinking about your holistic strategy, how to help people stay with your company long term, mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially. You know, one of the people that I always smile when I think about, his name's Andrew Hall. And Andrew, we met. He's from Nguni Tours in Nelspruit, and he takes people from all over the world and does amazing service with his tours. And he takes them inside Kruger National Park, and he takes people from all these different countries. And we built a foundation, a relationship with Andrew because of DISC. He came to our DISC personality course called Increasing Your Performance by Unlocking Your Personality. And he said, you know what, I'm going to take this, I'm going to apply it directly into how I communicate to people online through email that I've never met and close the sale. And Andrew closed on 60% more business because of our coaching program, because of this amazing information. He took what he thought were the reasons in the beginning why people holistically made a decision, and we helped them holistically change his word choice, and this met the needs of the people with their personalities, and he closed on people in amazing ways. You don't have to give discounts when you've got a great product, a great service, a great company, and you're charging the right prices. You don't need to give those discounts. You need to find how to add your value in such a unique way that the people will stay with you for years to come. So, what are some exclusive communication techniques? Number one, what is your screening process? What is your pre-qualification process? This is very important. Every single person on the earth is not a client for you. When somebody says, you know, David, the world is my platter, everyone can become a client. No, they can't. If you believe that the world is your whole customer base, you're probably not making any money as it is right now. It's not. You need to find out what is the correct people in the marketplace that can become your clients. What does that look like? And when you find out this is my client, then you know who to really go for. One of the people that is excellent at doing this, her name's Mariette. And Mariette came to one of our seminars in White River there in South Africa, and we became great friends. And Mariette was one of the most effective recruiters for our company that we've ever experienced. She was able to get so many people in our coaching program because the first couple months she joined, it was so astounding. She had these huge leaps personally and professionally, and she went to her parents and got her parents in our coaching program. She got her sister in the coaching program. She got her friends in it. She went out and found us clients and would bring them by the hand and say, you have to join this coaching program. And so James and I would say, well, we have our screening process, but Mariette is over here doing her own thing. She's just recruiting all these people. We couldn't pre-qualify anybody because they kept saying yes because she was so convincing. So sometimes you can have this great pre-qualification process, and then you have this person that's outside the norm, that is so influential, they just get person after person after person that becomes your client. So hopefully you have some Mariettes in your life like we do in ours, but you need to know who to sign up next. Once you've found the right people, here's the next question. Hopefully you're using DocuSign right now. If you're not using that amazing program and you're still waiting on the person to sign in person, I hope your company is gone beyond that, or you're going to have a really hard time signing contracts. So right now, here's the question. Once you find the right people, how quickly do they sign the contract? Because that is when you make the sale. When the person says yes, we had a person this morning said, you know what, ready to sign. I'm ready to pay a whole year up front. Let's get this going. They're ready to make the payment. They signed the contract. But the next one is really important. From the time you find the right people, from the time that they sign the contract, how many people have paid you the money? And this is called the stall. This is when people say, man, I'm the right person. This is the right time. You're the right company. I'm ready to go. And then they sign the contract, but you don't get the money. And there's a stall in the urgency in moving forward. And many times, that's the most frustrating thing about you not being able to meet one-on-one with people. And you know what? That's what Zoom, Skype, WhatsApp videos, all these different programs are really good at doing. Because when you're talking with someone, that's when you really look in their eyes and you say, listen, we believe you're the right person. You're the right company. You signed the contract. What can we do to make this work? And if there's not enough urgency in the other person, you won't make the money. So this is really important. The global business individual today, more than ever, is more, and look at this word, reserved in making the direct ask. They won't actually say this. You know what? I don't think I'm really interested. You're going to get an email that says, yes, I'm still interested. Yes, I'm still interested. If people keep responding that they're interested and they haven't paid you the money, they haven't signed the contract, don't believe them. Now, here's important. If you have your emotions here, that every person that says yes is a sale, you're going to get disappointed for the rest of your life. A yes does not equal a sale. Let me say it again. A yes does not equal a sale. Only when the money gets transferred into your bank account, only when the check clears the bank, only when the cash has been given to you, is that a yes. Until that point, it is only a maybe. It's only a maybe. And if it's only a maybe, it means that you haven't found where is the sales cycle where the person says yes, but doesn't pay you. And many times people are stuck in the screening, the sale, or the stall. They're stuck in one of the three areas. There's some people that go out there and they can get 100 pre-qualified and everybody's interested, but they get 0 signed contracts. Some people right now can't get a pre-qualified person to save their life. And other people have got 50 signed contracts and they've got no money. So where do you typically struggle is where we typically focus when we coach people. Where's your funnel? Do you have your funnel where it's filled with people and they're saying, hey, I want the contract? Do you have a whole bunch of signed contracts but no money? Where are you stuck in the communication techniques that you need to focus on? So a yes does not equal a sale. Until the money's in the bank, then you have a yes. So I remember one time, James and I were in proposal mode. We were in Pretoria, South Africa, and we were there at the Protea Hotel in Centurion overlooking the lake. And I believe it was something like midnight. We were doing our 5th proposal. And I said, man, James, I've done like 150 proposals in my lifetime. He goes, I know you're so great at it. I said, yeah, I might be great at it, James. But here's my question. How many of them turn into money? How many of them turn into a signed contract? Because it's not how great of a contract you have or how many people have signed them. It's how much money you've made from the signed contracts. My encouragement, don't get discouraged. Listen, celebrate the yeses, but don't go buy a brand new car just yet. Wait until the money hits your bank account. It's a little joke for all the people in South Africa, because we know the people that get a lot of money and then buy a brand new Mercedes-Benz and hasn't actually lifted a finger to do the work yet. Now, here's the last point I want to make to you. Forging lifelong customers. Forging lifelong customers. Right now, there are people all across the world that are watching this webinar. We have 16 people that are watching. And I know right now there are people that I considered friends that I've met in Durban and in Nelspruit, people here in Fort Collins. We are forging lifelong customers. What is a lifelong customer? It's a person that no matter the highs and lows of their life, no matter if you make them upset and you ask forgiveness or you've had nothing to ask forgiveness for, they're still there. They still are customers because they become friends. So here's my question. Number one, these are very important questions. Do you enjoy your industry and company more than any other? We have a couple great clients here in Greeley, Colorado, Fidelia and Rudy. They're involved in an MLM called Organo. It used to be Organo Gold, and they love selling coffee. Their eyes light up when they tell you about how this coffee is going to change your life and how you're going to feel so much better if you drink this coffee. And they just exude the joy that they have. They love their industry. They love their company. They love coffee. When you talk to them, they're like, well, we sell coffee. Everybody's got to drink it. You might as well buy it from us. I mean, Starbucks is $5 a little tiny cup. We're going to save you lots and lots of money if you buy it. I mean, you know, we got great packaging, and it's up to you whether or not you want to buy coffee from us. I mean, here's a box. I mean, I can give you a couple free samples, but oh gosh. You know, just tell me how it is. If you like it, if you don't, it's okay. You know. Okay. Some people have been in their industry so long, in their company so long, doing the same thing so long, that's how they try to make a sale. If you aren't passionate about your industry and about your company, about your products and service, you will not make lifelong customers. On January the 2nd, 2020, this year, I reached my 20th year in coaching. I've got clients today that I'm meeting with a gentleman tomorrow. I cannot wait to meet with Chris. He's an amazing man. He's in sales. He's coming up with so many new ideas, and he's making up his mind what he wants to do. His passion, however, is outside of his company. His passion is to start a nonprofit. And I'm saying to him, Chris, this is the best time to make all of this money, to do all these sales, because you can do this. This is your real passion. If you don't love your industry and if you don't love your company more than any other, then you will not be able to forge lifelong customers. And my encouragement to you is get out of your industry, get out of your company, and do something that you've always wanted to do. If you ever had a great opportunity to fulfill your passion, your calling in life, and to make finances with it, this is the best time to do it. And I hope you're not stuck in a dead-end job. The reason why we've been able to keep so many long-term, lifelong customers is because our team loves coaching. We love our company, and we're looking forward to people that we can keep long-term to help them grow personally and professionally. Number 2, you forge lifelong customers because you're willing to do whatever it takes to develop long-term customer relationships. You say, you know what? I have found person after person that I am so thankful they're paying me money. They're awesome customers, and I love them, and it's so much fun. And when I see my cell phone ringing or I get a WhatsApp message, I'm like, oh my goodness, look, this person's contacted me, instead of like, oh no, what's wrong now? We have helped people over the last 20 years in 250 companies. You will be surprised how many people we've helped to take their company to the next level because their passion was there, and they found amazing groups of customers because they loved what they did and they found them. And we've helped a lot of people leave their industry, leave their company because they had the wrong passion. It wasn't here. It was over here. And for you to say, oh, I got to find all these customers. I got to find all these clients. I hope I can find them. You've lost the passion that maybe why you started in the beginning. Over and over, when somebody says, David, you know, I want to invest in this company. I want to start this new company. And I say to them, why do you want to start this? And they said, oh, because I think I can make a lot of money. I'll say to them, don't do it. You're going to fail. And they say, whoa, what do you mean I'm going to fail? I said, you don't get into business because you want to make money. You get into business because you know you're going to make money, because the passion you have for that industry will make it where you can't fail. You talk to Andrew Hall today, you say, Andrew, do you love taking people on tours in Kruger National Park and having an amazing memory experience that they'll never forget? He'll be like, I'm ready to go tomorrow. He gets up like at 4 o'clock in the morning, makes sure that by the time they're in the park, the sun's rising over the beautiful baboa trees and they see a lion or a hippo or a giraffe or something eating something. I mean, there's passion there. He wants to take people from Japan and like, I think Germany was a big one, where he brought all these people over and they had these amazing experiences. It's easy to develop long-term customers when you're passionate about what you're doing. Are you willing to do whatever it takes to find those people? Third, have you moved away from a transactional system? Now listen, if you have a store like Game or Walmart and it's all about, here's my products, you pay me the money and it's just an exchange, that's not really what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about products and services that you sell online. I'm talking about people that you meet with face to face, that you know this is a person that you want long term, that you say, you know what, I can sell my products, my services with a person that becomes a lifelong friend. Those are the people that I'm talking about. That's called a transformational experience. When you engage with them through webinar and they stay long term and you are so thankful for them, that's a transformational experience. And you know what I found? Sometimes it takes one time to leave a lasting impression in a person's life forever. I just got a wonderful set of Facebook messages from one of our amazing clients. We had Cheryl Royam in Cape Town there in South Africa. And she said to me, you know, David, I wake up in the morning, I'm on the beach, I'm on the ocean, I'm still selling houses. I love my life. Thank you so much for taking an interest in who I am as a person, to getting me to really fulfill my retirement dream of selling a few houses a year, living on the ocean, being happy every day. See, the bottom line is, no matter who you sell to or where they are around the world, you can have a transformational experience with the right customers that will say to you years later, you know, it was because of your products, it was because of your services, because of your company, it was because of your care and concern that I stayed with you for such a long time. I can't even imagine going anywhere else and buying from anyone else except you. Question number 4. What is your referral strategy? You want to sharpen your marketplace edge? You need to develop your referral strategy. Now, here's what people believe. It's really interesting. People believe that because their last engagement, their last interaction with their client, with their customer was so amazing that they will remember that long term and will give you leads, give you referrals because of that experience. But you know what we found? Nobody does that. Almost no one gives somebody a business card and says to you, here's a business card. You know, I'm going to give you this business card because I was thinking about you the other day. I know we haven't talked in 3 years, but I just happened to think about you and somebody came to my mind. It rarely happens that way. You know what a referral strategy is? An email, a video, ongoing touch points that you remind the people how your product and services changed their life, maybe their family life, maybe their business life, and you remind them of that amazing happening, that event that took place in your store online. Maybe it was because you called the person. Maybe you took them out to a meal before all this stuff happened. And you remind them of what happened, and all of a sudden they give you a referral because you said, you know I haven't talked to you in a few months, but I was wanting to know, you know, I sold this house to you, or I was a financial planner and I helped you to save some money or make some money that you weren't expecting. Can you think of anybody that might need to connect with us during this downtime right now? It's not begging. This is very important. I have helped so many clients overcome this. You're not begging a past client that you had a great experience with to ask them for business referrals. It's good business. It's good business. When somebody says to me, David, I was thinking about you just the other day. I've got somebody I think needs your product or your service. Guess what I think? I think, oh my goodness, thank you so much for thinking about us. But if I'm not in that person's forefront of their mind, they will not think about me. Now, what's really interesting is right now, this is the best time for you to develop a referral strategy. How can you take the past customers that you made really happy, and how can you help them to connect you with their sphere of influence that you can get new clients? Right now, I've got at least 5 emails in my inbox today that somebody has said, hey, I want to connect you with this person. I was thinking about you. But if you ask David, who are these 5 emails from? It was from a gentleman I just met last week. Don't tell anybody. I snuck into a hotel lobby. Shh, okay. And I brought him some food. And he drove up from Denver. And we met around the corner so nobody could see us. And we had an amazing 2-hour meeting. And within 6 days of that meeting, I got 3 emails from the gentleman connecting me with other people in his sphere of influence. You know why? Because I just met with the gentleman. Why? Fresh in their mind. Now, some of you are introverts and you're saying, but David, right now I can't meet with anybody. I don't have a lobby to sneak into of a hotel. I thought it was funny. How do I get in touch with these people? Okay, if you're an introvert, you can do this. Write them an email. Write them a WhatsApp message. Shoot them a text message. Maybe just take your cell phone and just record a selfie just right there and say, hi, Bob. Hi, Francois. Hi, Sipo. Was just thinking about you. And I just want to let you know that even though we can't meet in person right now, I was thinking about you. I was thinking about last year, November, on the 15th, when you and I had our amazing year-end wrap-up. It was really meaningful for me. And I wanted to thank you for being a client. And I know you may be hectic right now, like some companies, or maybe you're not doing a lot right now, but I just wanted to ask you a favor. If you come across anybody in this downtime that you think would need our services, would you please connect them to me? I would really appreciate that. Be safe, stay healthy, and I look forward to seeing you when all this is said and done. Thanks, David. Send. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't matter if you're introvert or extrovert. You still can have a referral strategy that can make an impact in people's lives. I had a friend that I haven't talked to in, I don't know, maybe 5 years. I went to college with him. He was one of my good friends. And all of a sudden he popped into my head about a week ago. And I said, I wonder how Brian's doing. And out of the blue, he called me and left a voicemail message. He's like, David, I hope you're doing well. This is Brian from Florida. Just wanted to catch up. I know you're hectic. I'm hectic too. Things are exploding right now, but give me a chance to give you a call. And he's driving today. Hopefully I'm going to give him a call on the phone. And you know what? I'm going to say to him, hey, this is what we're doing in our coaching program. What are you guys doing? How can we partner in business right now? And can we swap some referrals? Right now, there are people all over the world that I'm sure you have made an impact in their life. And right now, people more than ever need to be encouraged. They need somebody to say to them, I believe in you. This is the right time for you to grow your business. Don't believe all the things that you hear in the news. Start reading books. Start talking to people that are positive. Start expanding your business, because companies are going under all over the world, and we are sad for them. And our heart grieves with them and their family and all the employees that have been laid off. And we are deeply saddened by that. But you know what the other truth is? Every business that closes in your industry, in your town and in your city, in your country, in the world right now is making a void for you to make a difference. If you're a financial planner, every single financial planning company that goes under, and every financial planner that says, I can't do this anymore, I'm done, I don't love the industry enough to continue, and they fall away, has given you the opportunity right now to get new clients that don't know where to go and what to do. And if you're positive and you're encouraged and you have your strategy, you will exponentially grow, regardless of your industry. So, are you ready now to expand yourself and your company? Are you ready to get off the couch, to get back engaged, to get mentally sharp again, and to say, now's time to sharpen my marketplace edge? Our team is one of the best in the world. I have had the pleasure of working with them for years. They are loyal, they are dependable, and they are sharp. Our President Carrie Cox comes from a publicly traded company in the broadcasting space, has unbelievable experiences with strategies that will expand your company when it comes to social media. James Rice, our international managing partner, helped us start from scratch in Durban and grow so successful that we launched in Chicago, and his coaching is so thorough that he leaves no stone left unturned. Michaela Wilkinson is my wife. She's the director of special projects, and we use her very strategically in clients that have energetic blockages. They can't seem to get those clients. And sometimes she meets with a person for an hour, and by the time she's off the phone or off the Zoom or meeting with them, they get client after client after client. And Carol Rice is very intuitive. She's our educational life coach. And when she meets with different people, she is able to see through the clouds to the very specific points that need to be uncovered. And she will give you practical advice and wisdom about how to grow yourself personally and professionally. For all of you in South Africa that are watching, and all here in the US and anywhere else in the world, this is your time to sharpen your marketplace edge. This is your time to grow your company, not to withhold your energy, but to put everything that you have into your company, into your position, into your belief that you're going to explode. And this is the time to do it. It's May 2020. We're going into spring, into summer here in the US and other places in the world. You're going into fall, into winter. The seasons are changing, and now is the time for your season to explode. If you are serious about growing your company, we would ask you to give us an email at thegecsa.com, and we will have a wonderful Zoom meeting with you and our team. And we look forward to serving you as you have chosen to serve others. My name is David Wilkinson. I'm the founder, CEO of the Global Equipping Center. It's an honor and pleasure to talk to you today. Thank you for giving me your time. We look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.